Hey everybody, here to do a video today. This time we're having a look at the Transformers Platinum edition. It's basically a fancy name for a reissue of G1 Trypticon. Yay! It's been a while since I've been able to do a big G1 Transformer because I haven't had the money for it. But at Auto Assembly I was able to get one, so let's see if the Platinum edition is, well, a good suitable replacement or substitute, at least for getting the very expensive G1 version. So let's take a look at that bad boy. We shall begin looking at Trypticon's Dinosaur mode because I think easily it's his best mode. It really does have a good strong look to it and decent sticker placement over it as well, and I like the colours personally. They're very Decepticon-y and work well. The sculpting is good, though I will mention because this is a reissue, the plastic quality isn't the best, as you can already kind of see just from these pan shots. And I do find it has a very strong Godzilla look to it, mainly because when you go over this back piece, you have the wheels, which make these little points coming up off of his back, which, at least for me, makes me think Godzilla. Whether that's a thing that you see or not, I don't know. But he does have, again, a very good dinosaur head. Now, Trypticon is a big and weighty figure because of the motors and whatnot to give him that walking ability. It does limit his articulation in his hands and legs, obviously because of this gimmick, but we do have some in the head. We have the jaw here, which goes up and down, and the head can nod. Mine seems very wobbly, and I don't know if that's because it's a reissue or if it's mine specifically, but it is a little bit annoying, I think. Now, if you want the head to look a bit smoother, you can push the gun back into the head and close down this orange piece if you put it in correctly, of course. I prefer it to look a bit more like the G1 cartoon, so I like the gun out, but that's just me personally. You can choose how you wish to present him. Oh, I guess there is a neck joint here as well, which I didn't mention. It can turn a little bit, but these gun pieces are in the way, so if you move them up to this kind of position, because of the transformation, you can twist his head all the way around, and you can kind of get it at this jaunty angle. It's not great, but it is a little bit more articulation than he had, so yay! Now, you youngins probably won't remember that old G1 toys, like Dinosaur here, had a lot of spare parts, like his feet. And this is no different for good old Trypticon as well, as he comes with a load of extra pieces. These pieces include these two purple ramps, two satellites, two weapons, and the two things that hold the weapons, and we also have these chrome bits inside Trypticon's mouth. We also have the battery cover here, which you need a tiny screwdriver to get off, which is a bit of a pain. I've already done it. And you need these big, fat-ass batteries. I think these are like AAAs or something like that. But these are, yeah, AAAs, I'm going to say. You need two of these big ones to get his motors going. And then you just put this back in and have to screw it down, which is a bit of a faff, but there you go. You can do that. And then on this side, we have this big switch, and then you flip that, and this is where the magic happens. Look at him go! Oh yeah, look at that speed. I actually really like the sound of this motor going, to be honest. I think it just sounds so good. And the slam of his feet is just amazing. He's not fast. Trypticon doesn't come alone, of course. He comes with this little tank guy, who is a pretty decent design, actually. I like the look of it. Again, the colours kind of work. And I think his name is Brunt. Not Brunt from the FCA, but Brunt. I could be wrong, though. It's just wiki stuff. He does roll. He does have these wheels on the bottom. Nothing on the treads, oddly enough. But yeah, that's solid plastic. We have the cannon that moves up and down. And yeah, this piece is a separate piece and comes off super easily on mine. I just pull it and it just flops off. Plastic tolerance is not there at all, which is a massive issue. Again, I don't know whether this was the case with the original, but there you go. It is a problem with mine. And I'm really not happy about it. He does have this switch on the top with the off thing there, so you can turn on and off this LED light for his cannon feature, so it looks like he's firing, I guess, all the time. It's nice and bright, good orange look to it as well. Nice contrast with the purple plastic. It doesn't have an action feature, so you just turn it on and you're done. So if you want it to fire, you gotta click it really quickly, which it's not a huge deal, but it's kind of a shame because it's a cannon, so we'll turn it off because you can't see it now. And if you want to slide this piece off using a tiny screwdriver, again, you can replace this battery with another AA battery, and boom, you've got yourself your working cannon. I'm going to take it out after this video is done because I have no use for it. But there you go, that is Brunt, the tank. Brunt doesn't come alone either, he comes as well with Full Tilt, this purple car. At least he's got stickers on him to make him a little bit more different. He's not a bad little car. This piece obviously unpegs and is his gun. I'm pretty positive that on the original G1 toy, this gets lost incredibly easily and is difficult to find now. It's quite well detailed for the size of it. It's not a bad little car. I mean, you can tell how he transforms, and I mean, speaking of that, let's see how he does it. All you do is you take off the gun and you flip the legs and turn him over, and boom, full tilt. It's not surprising that full tilt, even in his robot mode, isn't that amazing. The detail on him is fine, but he's very much a drone-esque character, very similar to Metroplex's small dudes as well. There's nothing amazing to him, there's nothing wrong with him either. For articulation, he has very soft ratchet joints in his shoulders, so he can move his arms up and down, but they're super soft, so you can kind of get them in between those clicks if you would. You can put his gun in his forearm, and that's pretty much it. You know, if you want to untransform his legs, you have that option as well, but that's really it. That is full tilt and Brunt. We've talked about small dudes, now let's talk about Trypticon's city mode. So here is Trypticon in his city mode. I really like it. I much prefer this over Metroplex. I just feel this is a better looking package overall. I like the colour placement, the extra colour that's been added because of the part and because of just him opening up. I just think it looks good overall. An impressive looking base mode. It's got helipads because that's a thing that needs to happen. It's got these nice little satellites as well. It's got all the stuff that makes Andy happy for a base. And this base works best with the Scramble City dude, so I'll grab my breakdown here just to give you an idea. We also have these extended leg pieces, which you can connect the base modes of Motormaster and other guys to. I have a picture of that, so you can enjoy that. And the ramp is the perfect size, really, again, for these Scramble dudes. Maybe it's a bit tight here, but for the most part, yeah, this is made specifically for the Scramble City dudes, so any of the scale like Jetfire is going to look a bit weird, but there you go. We also have an extra joint being revealed, which is this bit here. It's kind of weird, don't really get it, but you can bend the leg now this way. I assume this is just so you can position the base and other pieces a bit more to your liking, but I like it at this more natural angle. But hey, options are good. And around the back we have this big orange switch, so you whack that and this little ramp goes up and down. If you want, you can even just whack it with your finger. But I think you can figure out what happens. So we'll get full tilt, put him on said ramp, and we'll go and press that button and whee! There he goes. It's a fine feature. Now let's go over some of the problems I have with this base mode. First off here, you can really see how kind of gross the plastic came out of the mold. I think that is a problem again with the reissue. And we have these ramps. This side specifically, it's not as bad on the other side, but I mean, it's a simple peg. But whenever you put it into where it's meant to go, it doesn't exactly lie flat. So you're just there poking away, and it's just pushing out one side to the other side. It annoys me. I've even tried it with the other ramp, and I think it's something to do with the port itself or how that side has been molded to Trypticon, but it just doesn't work, and it's super annoying. Another thing that kind of bugs me, at least with mine anyway, is this piece seems to always be tilting to the left or to the right. Granted, I've just moved it, but this is how it usually is for me. I take it off and I put it on, and I spend ages just trying to get it flat, as I feel it's always tilting over to the other side here. It's really annoying, I find. The light does play a part here, I guess, but a really small one, as it just lights up the very top. On the plus side, I do really like these buildings. The faux building look looks really nice. It's good, it's funky. The electronics carry over to this mode as well. So let's flip that switch then. Woo! Yeah, it's not quite as exciting as his actual walking thing, but it's nice that the electronics are kind of useful in another mode as well. But let's take him on to his final mode, which is his battle station mode. Faux battle station mode. Battle station. The battle station mode is very similar to the city mode, but with some slight changes here and there, enough to make it fine. I really do like the faux Trypticon face on the side of the tail there, which I only noticed while editing the video. It's a perfectly fine mode, there's nothing incredible about it, but I do think Metroplex's battle station mode is, oddly enough, superior to Trypticon's. Trypticon's got better city, Metroplex has the better battle station mode. Now, I didn't mention this in the city mode, but the legs are slightly posable, just because of how the walking joint works. You can move them closer or further away from the main body if you wish. It's not a huge thing, but it's something. The wheels are also here and serve a bit more of a purpose, obviously on the underspine and for the front here. It helps him roll and do all that kind of good jazzy wazamataz. And we will flip the switch for the final time, and unsurprisingly the guns go around. One gets stuck in particular, but it's perfectly fine, I guess. Last bit to talk about are you can obviously move these guns up and down if you want, and for a bit more action you can maybe push these in and pull them out in a very rude manner, pretending they're firing like machine guns, and the main cannon of course moves up and down, and the light feature actually plays again. It's useful here. One thing you lose obviously is you don't get any more of this. The ramp is blocked off because of the big gun, but hey, it's not the end of the world. And that's it, everybody. That is the G1 Trypticon toy. This is the reissue, the Platinum reissue. If I hadn't mentioned that before, I'll mention it again. So all these problems I have with it could potentially be because of it being a reissue, because the plastic quality is a bit of a bummer. It's not terrible, it's just not up to the standards of the original G1 toys. But that aside, the actual toy on its own, as people should be aware, I am a big fan of the original kind of Generation 1 toy line, so it's kind of obvious that I'm going to like this. And I do. I think he comes together nicely, he looks good, he plays quite well, he's got a lot of features that, for back in the day, were quite neat. And the playability, you know, that he has with the rest of the G1 toys is also kind of a good thing. I mean, at the very least, he looks really good on a shelf. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope it has been entertaining for you at some point. And the next video we'll probably be looking at is his remold, Gigastorm. Anyway, thank you guys, and I will catch you then, so see you later, peeps.